Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dragon Tinkerer. Tonight we'll be showing you how to make custom turrets, keeping this quick, simple and easy. On the blue we have hinges for your elevation typically, and on the red we have advanced rotors and ordinary rotors for your azimuth and X direction. Coming over here to a free space, we will be placing a advanced rotor to keep it conveyed. We'll be placing this one in red. To support this, we'll be placing a hinge in blue for our Y direction or our elevation. When placing a hinge, this can be handy for when you're making hinge doors and whatnot. There is a notch just here on the X direction whenever you are placing it, or sorry, not the X direction, the negative direction. And that also correlates to looking up if you are using a custom turret controller, like this. The custom turret controller acts like a remote control block. However, it lets you set up which rotor and hinge you would like for your custom turret. Placing a conveyor and then a pair of fixed weapons atop this conveyor, we now have a custom turret which works perfectly fine. Combining the custom turret controller with a control seat for setting up purposes, we can find custom turret controller and then search for the hinges and rotors that we have. In my case, it is Advanced Rotor 7, and that's strange, I can't assign... Typically, you would be able to assign an elevation rotor, or in my case, an elevation hinge. They are both interchangeable. And then, once you have that, you would come down to the weapon segment, selecting railgun, in my case, or whatever weapon you may have picked, whether it be autocannons, the artillery guns, or railguns, or whatever, rocket launchers even. You can then control it, and it is a bit jank at the moment because of how this works. Typically, if it is janking like this, you would share tension. However, with this now like that, all we have to do is left click and it fires like an ordinary cannon. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, we have a working turret. A couple examples of turrets which you can make are really simple deck guns using the new artillery gun fixed, which is really simple. You've got the turret base and then the actual guns themselves. Here's an example of how they might come out as once you have done building them. Quite the interesting little deck gun. Combining small blocks as well into large grids can be used to make these sort of flak guns. This being the small grid large conveyed hinge and the small grid small conveyed hinge, which has been used over and over again to make these sort of ball turrets. It is very common at the moment, because of how space efficient they are. You can add all sorts of weapons and enable AIs on them. And they can also be used by players themselves. Other examples of hinges are spotlights, whether they be on, other examples of turrets are spotlight cameras and of sorts, and using hinges and rotors to achieve the same purpose. Or even a nose cannon, attaching this to the front of your ship nose on a small grid, and then using it as a effective anti-personnel or anti-vehicle weapon. Tanks have seen a massive increase in their usage now, because of planets like Pertam, and with this new update, you can make proper tanks. Some of the tanks on there already are very cool. An example of my new tank, which I'm going to be releasing very soon. Using two control blocks, one for an AI gun and one for the primary gun, whether that be a gunner or the driver. So, I hope this quick little tutorial has helped, and I hope you all have a good evening.